What's up, everybody? It's Tori Nix. I'm back on it with another message for today. It is August 11th, 2024. It's 11:08 on the clock right now as we start this reading. This is going to be centered around something that came up in a reading that I did the other day, but this is also like part 2 of that because I started to channel it during the reading, and I kind of was just wanting to go back over a particular message because then I had another message yesterday for you guys. So I'm going to share my downloads with you guys, okay? And this is basically centered around healing the womb. Womb healing is what most people call it or are used to hearing, right? If you hear my sounds in the back, I'm outside. Actually, I was called to do this reading outside, so that's also in sync with this reading as well. So this is all to do with the womb, and this can pertain to both men and women. So if you listen to this and you gain something from it, definitely share it with your community, as I think this message is really going to come from a free place, and it can really help a lot of people. So I'm just going to allow myself to tap in, and we're going to get into the downloads first. All right. So the first thing that I started to channel in the reading the other day, it was about women. It's just like the energy came to me. It was about basically there's a shift. Of course, we know that energy always is changing, right? Energy never dies. So this is a time where the energy is pushing us to kind of choose, right? Free will is a thing you should look up. That is the power within ourselves to choose. So this is deep because this is tied to our perceptions. This is tied to all of the work that we've been doing over, each year when you do your inner work, when you heal yourself, when you're on your pursuit of self-discovery and things of this nature, right? So if you have been on that journey, whether or not you're not conscious of the journey or whatever the case is, this is a time that you could be feeling this pull, because what I channel is that this is a never seen before time. I hope that makes sense. So this is never before seen. This is a never before. What did I write? Let me go back. Hold on. It was never been done before, and this is like a completely new level of healing. 11:11, as I say that. So the doors are opening, and what I think is so crazy, I literally wrote 11:11 p.m. last night. I wrote it on the downloads. It was 11:11 when I spotted that on the clock. This is so in sync, y'all. So this is like a cycle, and that's going to come up in the downloads as well. So just to give you guys an overview, I was speaking on how, a lot of us have gone through situations or were born into situations, even this system in general, right? The rules, the regulations, the belief systems, the politics, the way you're supposed to be, career, socioeconomic status, all of this stuff, right? It influences us on a subconscious level every day. So this is where it's a time to look at certain things as if this is from the lack mentality or fear-based mentality versus the love frequency. And this is connected to the earth. So hence why I'm doing this reading outside. So during the reading the other day, I was feeling a shift in the earth. I was bringing up the Hertz. A truck actually drove by, one of those Hertz trucks from the company. It literally drove by in the beginning of the read. And I was like, whoa. So even like just seeing 11:11, right, is all about the frequency right now. So this is based on how are you feeling, and it's really time to look at this on a deeper level. This had never been done before. Remember, guys, like this is a level to finally push you past certain blockages. So this is why this energy, I needed to break it down in 2 days. I'm even having a conversation later to see if other things will come out with my community. So this is deep, okay? So never before has this been done, okay? This type of healing that is available to us, okay? A lot of things that were coming up was the feminine energy, and this is with man or woman, okay? So like I said, this is about womb healing, but this applies to everyone. So this is going to be about inner child healing. This is about feeling safe in your body. This is about addressing and finally releasing certain barriers and blockages that maybe you've gained because of your perception, correct? So like going through life, you adopt certain perceptions, but it doesn't mean that it's necessarily true. It just comes from a stem of woundedness and pain. So this is where, and this can be either subconscious pain, this can be something maybe you forgave in the past and this is coming up now. And what I was channeling, if you look at the vibrational scale, this is where it's time to address. It's like a little bit of grief, but it was more so a process is occurring. So this is happening on an earthly scale as well as within us, on the mental planes, spiritual planes, within our bodies, right? This is all aligned. So again, that 1111 frequency. So think about 111, all is in a line. Okay, so think of this as a shift on the earth, because now I'm going to get into my downloads, how I connected all of this and what we really should be focusing on. So let's start. This is what I was hearing. What was up must come down. That's what I wrote in my downloads. This is a shift in plates. Okay. I started channeling the tectonic plates, or the plate tectonics, and I was channeling that women have those as well as men. So this is directly linked to your feminine nature. We all have it, the feminine energy. Okay. And this is a correction or a cleanse for that feminine energy. So keep that in mind. All right. So if you don't know about plate tectonics, this is like scientific theory that explains how major landforms are created as a result of Earth's subterranean movement. So this is about focusing on the movements within ourselves. And this is directly linked to how we heal the womb, the sacral chakra energy, right? Our childlike energy, our creativity, our sexual pleasure, and feeling safe again within our own bodies, okay? So think of the subterranean movements, and this is how the earth produces those landforms. So think of yourself and how you produce things, whether this is creations, projects, whether these are kids, right? It's a shift in the mind to be able to create. I hope that makes sense. So it's like they put the 8-8 portal as like, oh, this is a great time to manifest, but this is more so about fixing certain things and blockages and cleansing them out, healing them and letting them go, so you can then bring rebirth within that creation energy. And I'm channeling, so I know this is on the money. Allowing that to come back in after wounding, after programming, and coming back to a 0 point and coming back into the natural movements of ourselves. So the earth is doing this too. There's a cleanse. It rained all of July. So there's a purge, right? And it's a deep purge, because even yesterday I felt, as I was channeling this, I could feel certain energies like being pulled from my sacral. It was just kind of like the things that I needed to release. And what's gonna happen as we continuously release through this time, we come to a calm state, a 0 point, a balance. And I'm seeing the Incredibles. I just saw that the 0 point energy that the villain was using in there. It's like what was more so like, it's something with that movement. If y'all go watch that, it's something about that 0 point energy, and being able to control the movements. So this is being in control of one's body by coming back into the sound. What does that sound like? How do you listen to your body, right? And this is directly connected to your perception, the voices within you. What are you telling yourself every day, right? Your confidence. Are you speaking life into yourself, connecting back to that rebirth energy, that creation energy? Or are you speaking the thoughts of the past that you've adopted? So this could be abandonment wounds, sexual trauma. This could be physical trauma. This could be emotional, psychological trauma that's playing out in the sacral energy, which is telling you that you're not good enough, telling you that you have to live in shame. You have to be fearful of being your true self, right? And that suppresses the inner voice. So as you suppress emotions, you suppress an aspect of your true self, which is that feminine essence of creativity. So then life becomes kind of lifeless. So that's important as well. How you speak over your life, having control over that 0 point energy is essentially available to you, right? So this is on a scale of, let's take the mother or the father, right? And realize we are a product of both parents. And sometimes we have these generational beliefs that have now been passed down to us, where I think it's time to shift this. Again, it's a shift in plates. So this is a shift. Like, imagine if things were once upside down, like a plate. I was even channeling a sewer system of like how sometimes there's an underground world and things like that. So imagine if that world is the right way to live. It's now coming on top, and this world is now going on the bottom. So the structure that keeps you kind of like in that state of always healing your parental wounds, or like the societal wounds that you have psychologically adopted over time, right? And it's coming to a 0 point within that and coming back to that true voice. So this is not what your mom has told you. This is not what people have told you to bring you down. This is not how people have treated you in the past. This is about realizing it's about you, okay? And you choose, so that free will, right? And I brought up in the reading the other day, it's like the angel and the demon, how they show it in movies, how it's like when they're trying to make decisions, is one side telling them to do something that could possibly harm somebody or harm themselves. But then it's that always that higher self, that angelic essence, that feminine essence that is going to always be the sound reason. So it's like turning off that devil, even though it's there, but having the free will to choose, right? Because we've all been through some type of trauma. But this is where you now can balance yourself into, okay, no, I know that's not a true thought. I know that comes from my trauma. Versus, you know what, I know this is from myself. I know that this makes me happy. I know when I'm operating here. So it's a practice that's going to have to be adopted. But this is helping heal that wound, that sacral energy, and coming back into lighting you up. So when I looked at the vibrational scale today, I was drawn to how at the top it starts with, or at the bottom it starts with red, yellow, and orange. I'm sorry, red, orange, and yellow. And I thought of a flame, right? And it's like that orange, without the orange, there's not really a flame. So this is like getting through this sacral energy of grief. Whatever you lost will be replaced now, right? Getting through old beliefs that don't serve you is now being replaced with good thoughts, right? So you can shine freely in that sacral energy. This is all to do with the child. So imagine your inner child has been suppressed because of the pain. It's now ready to shine again. Imagine being reborn. You know nothing. You just know the wisdom now. You can shine in that confidently, okay? So you got to break the barrier to get to the whole flame. And this is what I'm seeing for a lot of the collective now, is like time. You know, this is where the pools are coming. So a lot of ocean energy with the water is purifying the waters. This is about the amniotic fluid being rebalanced, cleansed, purged into its default settings, okay? So these were just my downloads, okay? Also, with the tectonic plates, we're going to get back into this. Okay, I told you guys about the sewer. So this is where we want to focus on the crust, the Earth's crust, and the upper mantle. Okay, when we think of this plate tectonics, this is like, it helps explain the evolutionary history on life on Earth, right? So this helps explains, this is where we're coming into foresight or sight of what or how the evolutionary period of us, right, is coming back. It's like a awareness of how your body works. Remember, I said, like, just knowing about your body, coming back into that, listening to your guidance, right, as opposed to that devil on your shoulder that's telling you something else, right, about your body or whatever. But you know at the end of the day. So this is trusting, okay, and something, and it's funny I said trusting, because my next one was about trusting the process, right? It's a process, hence a cycle that's happening right now. So I wrote an example. I started to channel a cycle of clothes. So when you wash the clothes, right, they come out of the cycle washed. So this is what's happening with us on the earth as well. Okay. To bring us back into an alignment. So when you think of the earth, think of calmness, oneness, right? After the storm comes the calm. So imagine after the cycle of washing and cleansing comes a calmness within you, which is your default settings, hence a baby, right? You're gentle. So this is that feminine aspect, coming back into the courage to be more gentle, to now be able to receive as opposed to the hustle, hustle, hustle mentality, right? Learning to nurture yourself, even if your mother or your father couldn't do that, right? Coming back into that wholeness of self is a calmness, it's a oneness, it's a knowing to that. It's no anxiety behind that. And that's where this is trying to cleanse to come in, okay? So it's something about the number 7, right? There are 7 tectonic plates. That's need to know. And then it's also something about that cycle period as well. A 7-day cycle, you think of the weeks, right? And then you think of the 7 continents. So there is, again, that earth and our frequency. It's that mirror effect is going on, right? So we go through cycles as well as the earth, right? Every 7 days we go through another week. It's Sunday to Sunday, okay? And being in tune, okay? So coming back in tune with the actual cycle of life, okay? And I'm hearing the circle of life, and then I was also channeling full circle. So this is like remember that 0 point energy, like things, when you go on a journey and then things come full circle, essentially it's a calmness. So think about that deeper, about how it affects to your journey, and how can you bring more calmness to where you are with what you've been through, with these perceptions. How do you bring it back down to a 0 point, okay? So when we talked about this process, it's about how the earth or the plate tectonic process is driven by the convection in the earth's mantle. The convection helps to distribute energy away from hotter areas to cooler areas of the earth. There's that hot to cool, right? That's symbolic as well. So the temperatures within you, think of it as like metaphorically speaking, like the pain coming back to the calmness, or the anxiety coming back into a meditative state, an alpha state, right? A balance is coming through, okay? To come back to the hot, to the cool, the calm, right? A lot of us have been kind of programmed and pushed into that grind, hustle, gotta get it. Oh, money this, money that, and that has caused a lot of harm on the sacral energy. It messes up the flow of creation, okay? Because again, in the flow of the cycle, that's where you need to be. So this is going to help you heal a lot of this sacral energy, whether you're conscious of this or not. Your womb needs your attention, okay? Man and female, again, okay? Man and woman, sorry. So this is where I was channeling also. This is where they move constantly to reshape the earth's landscape. So this is where I was channeling weather patterns and emotional patterns as well. And when I think of a mantle, I think of a cover. I was thinking of the suppression, right? And this is to do with the mind, the thoughts, the emotions, versus the actual landscape of you. How do you see yourself? Because the landscape is to do with the aesthetic. So how do you see yourself, right? And fixing that foundation of seeing who you truly are, not who someone has made you feel like, or who has told you, whatever your circumstances have made you to believe in this time. This is where you can zero that energy to fix the perception, aka the aesthetic of self. Okay, so this is like an example. Let's say you're gaining weight, right? And this is like you're negative. You're talking negatively to yourself about that, when really it should be, okay, you know what? This is where I know that I've been through a lot. And that devil on your shoulder is going to keep talking negatively about you. But that angel on your shoulder, when you can rely on that, is going to give you a solution to your problem. You understand? So it's like looking at problems differently and finding healthier solutions is what feminine energy is about. It's the nurturing solution. It's not being hard on yourself, right? It's about feeling good in the process of getting to wherever you want to be. Again, that cycle, that journey, embodying the circle of life, right? Life is full of ups and downs. It's supposed to be that way. That's how it's designed, okay? So with these weather patterns, this is connected to that plate tectonic as well, because it then can kind of play into the control of weather. So you want to make sure this is where your emotional patterns are balanced. If it's sunny, right, and then all of a sudden a storm comes, right, this is looking at yourself internally, like how it rained all of July. It's like that means something needs to cleanse. So if the earth is cleansing, then that's where I was telling people, hey, in July, I felt in Cancer season, it's time for cleansing, right? So this is panned out to this ground point to where now we can 0 point the energy and you have more control over the weather in your life. You get it? So weather is directly linked to the emotional state. You think of seasonal depression. Why do you think they say that? Or right, when it is raining, it's gloomy. Or when it's sunny, you feel vibrant, right? At night, it's kind of calm, right? So it's like channeling. So if I know it's sunny during the day, I know that's a time to be vibrant, feeling good, right? Getting out in nature, enjoying. If it's dark, I know at the nighttime I'm calm, I'm in tune, I'm listening to my intuition, I'm resetting, right? If it's raining, I'm cleansing. I'm making sure my emotions are balanced. I'm making sure my mental's balanced, right? So learning to embody what's going on. If it's windy that day, maybe this is something with the mind. Maybe your mind is racing that day. Maybe it's a nudge to look at the mind, right? So your outside, the nature will reflect what's really going on. I saw 2211. As I look down, that's a mirror effect. So we mirror the earth, guys. Look at yourself as a tree. Look at your veins in your hands. Like, look at the roots, right? So this is a re-grounding, a re-rooting period, okay? So this is what I got. This is a focus on the head and mind. Again, with that mantle versus the landscape, thinking or changing how you feel, aligning with the mind, the emotions, and the thoughts, okay? So those were my downloads. That was a long time, but hey, that was I feel like that summed up a lot of the energy. So that's really good. And I even was able to channel through that. So I hope that made sense. I'm going to pull a few cards. I'm not going to make this too much longer, but I did just want to get that out to give you guys some food for thought. And the reading will now just give us some tips on how we can release, okay? So let's get into that. So we have perseverance coming out again. This is confirmation on the reading. I know that I can do whatever I set my mind to. And again, this is that resetting of the mind, the foundation, right? As well as the earth. There is a resetting. Remember, I kept saying the shifting of plates. So this is, I'm even hearing the shifting of planes. So think about that, okay? Go deeper into your knowledge. What else do we have? We have balance. What'd I say? And this is, again, that mind and the emotions, right? And the thoughts. We have green and blue with the flower. So this is like hold on, I'm sorry. A plane is flying over me. I told you I'm outside. All right, but this is about the emotions and the logic balancing out, becoming in tune, harmony, right? Operating in a default setting before that conditioning or before that trauma or before that event that changed your perception, right? And of course, this has to do with introspection. This is divinely guided right now. So this is, everybody's feeling this, whether you're consciously aware of it or not. This is happening, okay? Yeah, that is bringing you out of a cycle. So looking back, oh dang, and I was just talking about this is the time for introspection. So looking back at what happened and now being the judge of it in a different way, right? Not allowing this to have power over you anymore, looking at this differently so then you can come back into balance, right? So this is a look at the parental wound again. What happened in your foundation? What shaped your decision making? And then come back and realize, okay, cool, I learned from that. Now it's time to learn from me. And this is where you are patient. Again, getting in tune with the cycles of life, not being hard on yourself. Okay, a lot of times what we learn puts us out of alignment with what we are really truly supposed to be doing. So if you can listen to your voice on top of this chaotic world and what is always happening outside of us, that's where you thrive, because you know, right? So that knowing is essential for this healing. So gaining confidence, learning to be gentle, this is what you need to be doing, okay? Self-care routines. Slowing down is a major one, and this is where breathing, meditation are your major components of healing this. Journaling, getting it out, having different perspectives about it. Okay, speaking it, whether that's to a friend, whether that's out loud to yourself, just getting things out, okay? And looking at this differently. Wow. Yeah, this is a reconnection to the earth, because we have the card. So basically what I'm saying is it's the card of loneliness, but it's regret on the bottom. And this is not even that. This is more so reconnecting from the past, like I said, just kind of seeing it differently, how it does help you connect more, right? Like your lessons aren't supposed to keep you stuck in regret, guilt, shame, and sadness. It's supposed to actually connect you back to your true self, right? And like I was saying, if you look at yourself and you mirror the earth, you stay connected, right? You can connect more. You realize that life is different. You start, your perception of what you really are becomes different. So where do you have to stress about, right? You start to understand life is based on lessons and how you apply them, right? So this gets rid of the anxiety, right? And it brings you back to this courage, that 528 hertz frequency, this solar plexus energy. Remember I said the flame can't be fully lit until you connect back to yourself. So this is like that 0 point energy, relighting your own flame, coming past the grief, coming past the guilt, the shame, the things you've adopted in life, right? This is heartbreak, relationships that didn't work out, disappointments, lack mentality, poverty consciousness. All of this is now being cleared because you can now reconnect to yourself, okay? And it's a step-by-step process. Change in death comes out. So this is, and I think this is interesting because it talks about that evolution again. I understand that nothing can grow or evolve without movement. And we were talking about that plate tectonic, the plate tectonics and how they're shifting. So this is a movement. This is confirmation. And it's freeing you from this blockages within your own energy flow, right? Which a lot of times people get locked in on that orange level, right? That shame, that guilt, that grief. I'm going to keep saying it because release it, and come back into this courage, this solar plexus energy where you are the heart of your being, okay? That love, that energy of just being you, showing up, you being enough, okay? So that's how you are going to balance this in, shifting the perspectives of things. So that's where the journaling will help. Shadow work, looking at certain things that you're feeling and really being vulnerable about that. How do you really feel, right? Where does it stem from? And then creating a new storyline to why you feel that way, because you're going to gain a lesson. You'll be guided, okay? So get back in the flow of your natural essence and energy, all right? Yeah, we got grief. It's a change coming in that. So this is even people, places, things that you've had to let go of that could be blocking something still, even if you're not around them, even if maybe you don't talk to them anymore. It's like an imprint. And I spoke about this 3 months ago when I was speaking on the fossilized remnants, about how imprints are left on us through our pain, right? So that's the direct focus. Where did this grief stem from, right? Where did it affect your self-esteem, your self-worth, your self-value, the way you speak to yourself, the way you show up in your creations, your relationships, your day-to-day life, right? It's a certain confidence that was stolen that needs to be returned, okay? So the judgment, again, the introspection time, going inward to make these decisions to become lighter, because we got the humor card coming out, to the death card. So this, I'm telling y'all, once you can process this, it's going to be a lightness that enters your life, and you're going to come into a simultaneous beginning as you release that, okay? So I hope that makes sense. What else can we focus on, Spirit? Discipline. So this is routine that can help you change your mind to the growth on the bottom, your consciousness, your awareness of things, right? Going within, the discipline to do this. So this is as simple as shifting routines into doing your self-work to then balance the mind and emotions. Hence, taking back control, right? You're the presence of your own life. Nobody else has a say so. You don't, it's just a inner dependence that comes with that, okay? So patience, that's what needs to be happening. And this is also the discipline to slow down, right? The discipline to hear yourself, to know where you need to go, your next steps, right? You're not lost. If somebody's feeling lost, you're actually not, okay? This is just something to do with that womb. And I'm seeing like fragmented pieces. It's like I'm seeing like the earth, because I'm seeing like the earth's crust. Maybe this is like rockiness. All of this is like trying to be cleared out of the earth, but then imagine your rockiness is your emotions, right? It's just stuff that has been suppressed is going to come up. It's like a volcano erupting within us, right? And this is allowing that, right? With patience, by slowing down. It's a process, guys. Everything is not overnight. Slow down, all right? Yeah, your well-being to your purpose. Again, hearing your guidance, knowing where to go, not being stuck, right? You're not stuck. The past happened for a reason, and it's time to come into that expanded awareness of why that is, right? And release this old beliefs, okay? So balance, bringing it into yourself, your harmony, your justice, your free thinking, okay? Yeah, and as I say that, the inner decision comes back out to the success. So this will help you guys, okay? But it's becoming more sound in self, okay? Being your own leader, not needing any approval for anybody, just being that person for yourself, okay? So I'm actually going to get one more card I'm being called to, and I will close it here. This was a really, really good reading. I'm just glad I got able to go over this, especially being outside. Wow, y'all, the sacred lust comes out. This also came out in the reading the other day, to live out loud. Y'all, need I say more? I wish y'all could see this card, but it's basically a woman standing on top of a lion, symbolic of that lion spirit. We're in Leo right now, right? Also that fire, that sun spirit, hence the 528 hertz, right? The being, the knowing, right? And this is over two men. She stands over two men. So this is like, again, that feminine energy rising back to the forefront now. The how we were always supposed to be in tune, right? Looking at ourselves like babies all over. We're supposed to be nurtured. We're supposed to be taken care of, protected, right? We're supposed to be confident, speak our minds, and live out loud, and not care about what society thinks, right? That's true feminine energy. Okay, so let it live. It'll be lighter, is what I'm hearing. So that's where a lot of anxiety is rooted from, that societal pressure. So this is when you can come back into your true essence. It's basically like that saying, who gives a fuck? You know what I'm saying? Like, no, you're not going to care about anything or anybody. It's just about you, okay? Because you'll know why you're here. And that changes your completely, or let me say, it changes everything completely. Like the trajectory of your life will never be the same when you know, right? So trust in that knowing. Express yourself. Live out loud. Have fun. Feel good. Embrace your femininity. And we're going to close it out with the message, okay? I just saw 3444, so that's in sync. Remember I said that 1111, that's a 4. So it's the, that's deep. That's just confirmation, okay? So we have the element of water coming through. This is that emotion again, right? Expressing yourself. If you see this card, it's live out loud. The number on here is 31 as well. That's a 4 again. This is about the 4 planes of existence. Whoa. The mind, body, the soul, but the etheric nature too, the higher nature is coming through. So it's a balance and coming back into that higher nature. Okay. So this is about expressing yourself. You have something to say. Share your voice and magic. Express your you-ness. The way you express yourself won't make everyone happy. That's okay. You're not meant to. Living out loud and self-expression look different for everyone. For outgoing extroverts, self-expression may mean dancing on tables and screaming your way and your points across. Introverts may speak out in other ways and save the louder parts of their personalities for loved ones. I am free to express myself fully. So again, that duality is coming through here with the introvert versus the extrovert, right? So the feminine has been suppressed, extroverted, right? Now we need it to live out loud, be that extrovert energy where the masculine can now be the introvert, right? Where the masculine can follow the extroversion of the feminine aspects, right? And leading with that in the mind, in the mental plane, the higher self plane, okay? So I hope that makes sense for you guys. This is a beautiful energy. It's a beautiful time. I'm being called to speak on the art of dancing and walking, as well as helping this cleanse. That is a major way. Dancing, moving your hips, stretching your hips, all of that will help align you with this process better, okay? So y'all have a great day. Maybe we'll go into that more, but start there as you ground into this energy. And I'll remind myself to kind of hit those points of like, after this energy is kind of clear, we're going to take it step by step because this is a major, major energy coming through. All right. So if you stayed this long, thank you so much. Stay up, stay in love, stay in light, and stay safe. And I'll see y'all on the next one. Peace.